So you're thinking you can't take it anymore. Maybe it's time for you to go. You're wondering if this kind of life is for you. Travel is not easy, but it's pretty fun too. And we've been meeting folks and talking with friends back home and family, and we've been receiving a lot of questions. We decided we would kind of bundle them together in a quick video for you and hopefully provide a few insights. I think the first question that always gets asked is,
Should we sell the house? That's the most concerning question almost everybody have.
yeah, if those our generation, you were told to buy a house and it's your biggest asset. And if you've done well in it, like most of us had, because the markets have been great in most of the Western world, um, you have this huge asset and you don't know what to do with it. And it's scary to give up your home and everything else. Now, our perspective is that the taxes, the maintenance, the insurance costs, and all that, they're basically just rent. You're never getting those things back. You can get back improvements, but just doing maintenance, doing yard work and stuff, that's just money out the window.
Not just money, time too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it used to be basically you had a full-time job working and a half-time job taking care of the house and a half-time job or more taking care of the kids. And that's why we never got anything else done. And so, now that you have this time in life and you're looking at retirement, do you really want to keep that job? Part of that question is,
Can you afford to retire in that place?
yeah, that's a big one. If you add in all those costs, whether you have a mortgage still or not, there's still all the costs associated with a home or rent if you're renting someplace. And given the inflation and other cost changes recently, can you still afford to be there, or would you be like us, where we'd have had to keep working to stay where we were?
Yeah, it's one of the things, even though you want sometimes to stay close to your family, you have to think about yourself. I think, I mean, sounds a little bit selfish, but you don't gonna be this young for a very long time.
We're young, okay, but yes, you will never get younger, as we've said before. So
Yes.
the other big part of it is not just can you afford to retire in place, but do you really want to? I mean, I don't know about you, but I can't stand some of the weather half the year in most places we've been, which is why we don't stay most places a year.
Yeah, and we used to live in Denver where it snows a lot, and being cold and have to be inside for months, it's not fun.
Yeah. And, could we have a place there and then travel away from it? Well, then we're paying all those costs for a place we're not even at. So, yeah, for us, it just didn't make any sense. It definitely helped us to, free ourselves. Plus, there's just the whole feeling of freedom with getting rid of your stuff, getting rid of that anchor that is keeping you there. There's nothing that says you can't go back and visit. Stay as long as you want. If you love summer in your hometown, we do. We have friends who do. Great, go back for the summers. But you don't have to have all your stuff there. Anyway, next part of that question is, well, the follow on to that question actually is, how do you get rid of all that stuff? If you've been living in one spot for many years, you probably have a house full of things. And sadly, I hate to tell you, your kids don't want your stuff.
Yeah, well, we have our experience that actually we have a very nice things and we offer to our kids and they don't want it. They have their own style, they have their own plans. So don't waste your time. Just donate
Yeah.
everything if it's possible.
If you want to have yard sales, great, good for you. What we found was we hardly made enough money to pay our time and effort that we put into organizing and performing the yard sale. So maybe you can get it to somebody who will just sell it professionally for you. But you know what? While you're working, while you get the year that you're working, get that tax donation by just donating it to charity. There are people out there who need it. Heirloom stuff, no, but the rest of it, come on, it's just stuff.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. So then the other part of that is, if you do want to leave, where do you go? And
Yeah.
where can you have kind of bang for your buck? Where are good places to travel to or possibly retire to?
Yeah, there's so many places in the world that you probably never been and you really don't know. And although if you're watching videos, you don't get all the information. So um, our suggestion is to take the time and spend, I don't know, a month in a place that you have an idea that you will be happy
Mm-hmm.
and have a good investing your money on it.
Yeah. get your time and money.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't spend at least a month, you're basically on vacation, and a vacation is not real life. And as
Hmm.
we like to say, it's also the most expensive way to travel.
Hmm.
So, find a place to stay a month or more, preferably several. If you're really thinking about relocating somewhere, stay in multiple seasons over the course of some time,
That's very
experience.
important,
Yeah,
actually.
what we
Yeah.
found as you, if you've watched this before, we spent a year in Portugal thinking that was our forever place. We still love Portugal. We're not going to tell anybody not to go there, but winter is slow and the weather is kind of mediocre, and summer is crazy crowded with all the tourists from all over Europe and America and et cetera that come over there. So,
And expensive.
and yeah, and it gets a little expensive during that time, and it's gotten more expensive, so it's no longer a low budget place to go. Still wonderful, still recommend visiting there, but that's a different issue. But yeah, so we've been to Turkey and Portugal and Spain and Greece and et cetera, and now over here in Southeast Asia, and the world's amazing, and we have great times everywhere. You can stay as nice as you want or as budgeted as you want in most parts of the world. Paris being, a little harder to find a budget place, but you can do it. But anyway, um, next big question that we get from people, because we did a video about it and we talk about it a lot, is how we've stopped staying in Airbnbs.
Yeah, well, it's been probably there's changes in Airbnbs. The rules are totally different now that it was in the beginning, and they don't give you any basically any discount these days. The services are very
Mediocre.
mediocre.
Yeah.
And the beds are not comfortable anyway, name it. And on top of that, I'm sorry, and on top of that, most of them don't give you the refund if you're not happy with the place.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing,
Problem.
big problem for us, and we
Yeah.
decided that we want to spend our money in something that give us a peace of mind,
Yeah.
not a headache.
Yeah, and it's short of outright fraud. You're really fighting an uphill battle. And if you've booked a place for a month and you've booked several places for several months and you just aren't happy with it, you're going to basically lose most of that or all of that money. So, unfortunately, the value isn't there anymore. There are a lot of options out there with other versions of staying in people's homes through other platforms. There are some that people with cancellation policies on Airbnb, but it's just a lot harder to find. And if you've seen our videos lately, we are living in some really nice hotels at prices that I never thought we'd be able to. And um, got to say, I don't miss shopping, cooking, cleaning,
No.
any of that stuff,
Me
and
neither.
and all the amenities that you get at these nice hotels. Now we can't do this in the every place of the world, but we can do it in a lot of places and with our budget, and that allows us to then go spend a little more in other places to stay in nicer apartments or homes in those. So it's all about balancing of the budget. And that is one of the other recommendations we have is if you're going into this type of lifestyle, you need to set a budget and stop worrying about the budget every month, because it's going to change every month. If you're moving around, the faster you travel, the more it changes, the more you have to deal with it. So, but that's a whole separate video.
Yes.
What's the next question?
The next question, and it's a really good one, is um, if we suggest our friends to buy a place or a house abroad, and for us, the answer is no. Why? Because not just you have to deal with different rules, but you have to deal with lawyers, spend a lot of time and money. And the worst part is you really don't know if the money you put it in the beginning, you're going to get that money back.
Yeah.
Because some of our friends experience that situation.
Yeah. And also, buying overseas, there's a lot of complications. You can't do it yourself unless you're just paying cash, and you better follow the rules if you're trying to bring a bunch of cash into another country. Um, but yeah, these friends of ours who are trying to buy a house, they put down a bunch of money. They went through months and months of the process working with a builder who was doing the work on it. And then suddenly at the end, there's these provisions that foreigners can't just buy the house. All the neighbors around within a certain amount of area have a first opportunity to buy. So somebody who sees the price, it could basically just take the bid from you and take the house from you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what happened. And then it turned out the real estate agent might have been committing fraud. So the money they put down might not actually have been there anyway. So they were very unfortunate for dealing with some folks, and it was just. But overall, it's just very complicated. Now we have a bunch of friends back in Portugal who bought places and love it, and I say that's great if you want roots, if you want that sense of place, and that makes sense to you, and or if you have a really great opportunity to buy as an investment where you're getting a good deal, great. So hope you enjoyed the video. We really just did want to make a video about the questions we've been hearing, and especially we have some friends who are really taking their first steps. And these were the things they threw at us really quickly. Like, this is on the top of their mind, so it might be on the top of yours, because again, there are a lot of people in the same situation as us. You've reached that retirement age and you just don't really know what's next. And, we're here to help. Please leave us a comment, ask us any questions. By the way, I'm Peter.
And I'm Elena.
And the channel's Retire Everywhere. Hopefully you're learning something from our triumphs and our mistakes. And if you have differing opinions or examples, please add them in the comments. Other people want to learn. People are this is a huge decision. We didn't know half of this stuff or most of this stuff when we started. So, we really hope this helps. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.